Hello everyone, hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we're diving into a dramatic and emotional story as James finally uncovers shocking family secrets after 20 years, faces overwhelming struggles, and finds himself falling ill. Watch as Ly Tu Diep and little Ly stand by his side, offering love, support, and courage in the darkest moments. Will James find the strength to face the past and protect his family? Stay tuned, and don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the next chapter of this powerful story. James lay sprawled on the old sofa, his body slack, as if completely drained of both physical and mental strength. His hands trembled, beads of sweat dotting his forehead, mingling with his rapid and uneven breaths. His face was so pale it seemed almost lifeless, his eyes open yet empty, as if staring through an invisible space that existed only in memory. He quietly gazed out the window, where the pale afternoon light filtered into the room, but his eyes registered nothing beyond the void. Everything before him merged with 20 years of painful memories. Memories of family, harsh decisions, losses, isolation, and hidden secrets, all rushing back, leaving him nearly paralyzed. He closed his eyes once, then opened them, trying to regain a measure of calm, yet his body and mind betrayed him, dragging him back into panic and helplessness. The surrounding silence was so intense that the ticking of the clock echoed sharply, emphasizing each tense moment. The small room, with its worn furniture, faded walls, and a few simple belongings, suddenly felt heavy, carrying all the pressure James bore. Every breath, every heartbeat resonated through the quiet space, as if reminding him that he stood at the edge of emotions he had long avoided. He felt his entire body weighed down, trapped between past and present, unable to move, unable to escape. Nearby, Tu Diep hurried over, her eyes full of worry and fear as she saw James in this state. She knelt beside the sofa, her soft hand on his forehead, checking his temperature and pulse while trying to convey a sense of warmth and calm. Her other hand gently brushed through his hair, as if soothing not just his body but also the tangled thoughts overwhelming his mind. Her voice trembled, yet was tender, slipping into the heavy silence of the room. "Are you okay? Breathe. You have to calm down." Each word was like a small lifeline, holding him back from the edge of despair, though still not strong enough to dispel the darkness fully from his mind. She tried to look deeply into his eyes, searching for a response, a sign that he was returning to the present, but his gaze seemed frozen, lost in scenes from the past only he could see. Tu Diep took a deep breath, attempting to suppress her own fear, yet her heart tightened every time she saw him shiver, every twitch of his facial muscles, and every irregular breath. She leaned closer, pressing her body gently against him, trying to transfer warmth, as if her presence alone could shield him from pain. In that moment, the room felt silent yet charged, as if James's only anchor was Tu Diep's presence. Slowly, he began to notice that someone was beside him, offering care, offering warmth. Though the weight in his heart remained, his breathing eased slightly, and for the first time in a long while, he realized he had not completely lost himself. Tu Diep whispered, her words deliberate and steady. "You don't have to face this alone. You don't have to endure it alone anymore." The room, the pain, the worry, and the love all blended together in this silent yet vivid moment, forming a tableau both sorrowful and hopeful. James still lay there, but at least now he had someone to cling to, a hand on his shoulder, a gaze full of worry yet gentle, reminding him that no matter how cruel the past had been, he was no longer alone. Little Ly stood close to the sofa, her tiny hands gripping James's legs, feeling each tremor and uneven breath of her father. Though too young to comprehend everything that had unfolded over the past 20 years, she was sensitive enough to sense his exhaustion, pain, and the pressure weighing him down. Her clear, wide eyes, innocent yet anxious, stayed fixed on James as if simply seeing her father offered her a bit of reassurance. Her soft, trembling voice whispered in the tense silence, "Daddy, I'm here with you." Those words, fragile yet warm, were like a gentle breeze, soothing James's troubled heart, reminding him that even amidst pain, there remained a small but essential part of the world that trusted and needed him. James turned his head down, his eyes meeting his daughter's gaze, and for the first time in hours, he saw a faint glimmer of light in the darkness. He gently grasped little Nye's hand, tightening it as if to pass on whatever strength he still had left. The feeling of having something to hold on to, being cared for and loved, however small, was enough to ease the rapid pounding of his heart, to calm the panic within him. He took a deep breath, trying to steady his breathing, telling himself that he was no longer alone. Beside him, Hung stood solemnly behind the sofa, one hand resting on James's shoulder, not just to comfort, but to assert a steady, unwavering presence. Hung's eyes were deep yet gentle, serious yet protective, like a silent reminder that James did not have to carry everything on his own. His voice was soft but firm. "You're not alone. We're here, facing this together." Just that one sentence carried enough weight to penetrate the walls of exhaustion and despair, reminding James that he had a family, that there were people who would always stand by him, and even though the pain remained, he would not be consumed by it alone. James felt an unusual sense of safety from the two loved ones beside him, a small girl with a strong spirit and a steadfast, calm younger brother full of strength. Little Nyi clung tightly to his legs, her eyes filled with worry yet brimming with trust, while Hung's hand on his shoulder seemed to transfer silent energy and stability. Both, in their own ways, were lifting James out of the emotional abyss, reminding him that no matter how harsh the past had been, he still had support, still had people willing to share the burden. James closed his eyes once more, breathing more slowly, and for the first time in many hours, he felt a glimmer of peace seep into his heart. Not because everything was resolved, but because he knew he was not facing it alone. The exhaustion, fear, and pressure of over 20 years still lingered, yet now, beside him, were those he loved. Little Nyi looked up at her father with a mixture of curiosity and innocence. Hung stood firm with his hand still on James's shoulder, and together they formed an invisible barrier, shielding James from the devastation of the past. In that moment, the small room came alive in a peculiar way. The silence was no longer oppressive, but became a pause filled with love, care, and trust. James opened his eyes, looking at each of them, and a deep sense of gratitude welled up within him. He knew that the journey of confronting the truth was far from over, but now he no longer had to walk through the darkness alone. He had Hung, he had Tu Diep, and most importantly, he had little Nyi, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead alongside him. James tried to lift himself to sit up on the sofa, but his body was weak, his head spinning, his heartbeat still rapid and breaths uneven. Every small movement made his body tremble, sweat streaming down his forehead and temples. He wanted to stand, to reclaim some control after the emotional turmoil of over 20 years, yet the very effort made him dizzy and off balance. Seeing this, Hung immediately stepped forward, placing a firm hand under James's back and shoulder, gently but steadily supporting him. With Hung's help, James was safely repositioned on the sofa, his body held steady, and it seemed that only with Hung beside him could he feel some stability amid the chaos invading his mind. Hung spoke little, letting his gaze and unwavering presence convey the message that James did not have to face this alone. Meanwhile, Tu Diep quickly prepared a cup of warm water, gently placing it in James's hands. She carefully lifted his hand, guiding the water to his lips so he could drink slowly without choking or overexerting himself. Her actions were not just physical care, but a silent transmission of love and deep concern. She whispered softly, her voice soothing like a lullaby. "Everything will be okay. You don't have to endure this alone anymore." Her words acted as an invisible shield, protecting James from painful memories and helping him feel a temporary sense of peace amidst the psychological storm closing in. James took a deep breath, feeling the warm water slide down his throat, easing some of the tension in his body. He closed his eyes briefly, leaning on Hung and Tu Diep, allowing himself to relax, trusting that he did not have to bear all the pain alone. Every small gesture, the hand on his shoulder, the cup of water, the comforting voice, reminded James that he was no longer alone. For the first time in many hours, even many years, he felt he could slow his breathing, relying on the love and presence of those around him to regain some strength and calm. In that moment, the room suddenly felt warmer. The painful memories and the invisible weight of the past no longer pressed down. There were only 3 people, James, Hung, and Tu Diep, standing together amidst the storm, supporting, lifting, and giving strength to one another. James felt it clearly. Even though the pain remained, even though 20 years of memories were deeply etched, he was no longer facing it alone. He had Hung, he had Tu Diep, and their love and patience were enough to help him regain some strength, to continue walking through the darkness without being swallowed by it. James slowly lowered the cup of water, taking a final sip, then exhaled, as if releasing some of the pressure that had weighed on him for hours. His eyes fell on little Ly standing near the sofa, lightly holding onto his leg. Looking at her, James smiled, still weak, but the smile carried relief and deep comfort. Little Ly looked at her father with wide eyes, not fully understanding what was happening, but clearly sensing the exhaustion and pain he had just endured. She whispered, her voice soft yet sincere, "Dad, I'm here with you." Those simple words echoed through the quiet room, carrying a kind of magic James had never realized before, the power of presence and unconditional love. Hung stood behind the sofa, his expression serious but gentle, placing a firm hand on James's shoulder. He spoke little, but his presence communicated that James was not alone in his emotions or decisions. "You're not alone," Hung said, his voice deep but steady. "We're here, facing this together." James felt his brother's hand press lightly against his shoulder like a bridge connecting them, helping him regain balance and trust. Little Ly clung to her father's leg once more, her small shoulders rising as if to affirm, "I'm here, Dad. It's okay." James bent down, kissing her head, feeling the softness and warmth of her tiny hands. The scene felt like a gentle light piercing through the darkness of all his memories, making James realize that, despite the cruelty of the past, he still had family beside him, people to lean on, to pour out his heart to, and to find the strength to move forward. Tu Diep smiled softly, sitting close to James, observing both brothers and little Ly, gently rubbing his shoulder once more. She whispered, "Everything will be okay. You don't have to endure this alone anymore." Her words resonated like a promise, a vow that from now on they would face everything together, the past, the truth, and the unknown consequences. James closed his eyes, exhaling with more relief, feeling the heartbeats of Hung, of Tu Diep, of little Ly, and finally, his own. Each beat merged into a new rhythm, a temporary peace sufficient to prepare for the challenges ahead. In that moment, James realized that true strength did not come from power or control, but from love, companionship, and mutual trust. He opened his eyes, looking at Hung, at little Ly, at Tu Diep, and knew he was no longer alone. Beside him was family, people who would face the truth with him, help heal his wounds, and walk forward in life unbound by the past. After a moment of composure, James gradually stabilized. He took a deep breath, then slowly opened his eyes, looking around the room at those he loved standing beside him. Little Ly still clung to his leg, her eyes glistening with concern, reassuring him that everything would be okay. Hung stood behind, his hand still firmly on James's shoulder, his gaze serious yet filled with empathy and strength. Tu Diep sat close, holding his hand gently, her lips moving as if to speak, but choosing silence, letting her love and presence convey everything. James took another deep breath, trying to lift himself from the sofa. The dizziness and chest pain remained, but he knew he couldn't stay there forever. Hung quickly supported him, holding his body securely, helping him balance and avoid falling back. James leaned on Hung, feeling his brother's steady, warm hand like a safe harbor amid the emotional storm he had just endured. The warm cup of water Tu Diep had prepared was placed in James's hands. She gently lifted his hand, helping him sip slowly, comforting him while reminding him, "Everything will be okay. You don't have to endure this alone anymore." Her words resonated like a connecting thread, mending relationships tested by the past and the secrets buried for more than 20 years. James finished the water, exhaling lightly, feeling the dryness in his throat and the tension in his body ease slightly. A quiet moment passed, only the ticking of the clock and the rhythm of heartbeats filling the room. James finally looked at little Ly, offering a weak but sincere smile. He bent down, embracing her, feeling her softness and innocence. Little Ly held him tightly, as if to say that no matter what happened, she would always be there. Hung stepped forward, observing the scene, his gaze softening as if letting out a sigh of relief, seeing his brother gradually regain his balance. Tu Diep placed her hand on James's shoulder once more, her heartbeat syncing with his, as if to affirm that from now on they would no longer face any challenge alone. "We'll face everything together," she whispered, her voice gentle but firm. James looked around, wavering between fatigue and peace, realizing that true strength did not come from power or control, but from love, trust, and the presence of those who cared. The family stood there, close together, silent in a moment that seemed simple but carried the weight of 20 years. James knew he was no longer alone, and from this moment onward, no matter how difficult the future might be, he would move forward with his own choices, with Hung, with Tu Diep, and with little Ly by his side. After finishing the cup of water and stabilizing his breathing, James slowly sat up on the sofa. His body was still weak, but his eyes were clear, filled with determination. He looked at Hung, Tu Diep, and little Ly, realizing that each of them was watching over him with quiet, profound care. The panic and despair were gone, replaced by gratitude and resolve. James smiled gently at Ly, whispering, "Thank you, sweetheart. I know you've always been by my side." Hung placed a steady hand on his shoulder, silently reminding him he was not alone. Tu Diep adjusted his pillow and brushed his hair, her voice soft yet reassuring. "Everything will be fine. You don't have to face this alone." Little Nee clung to his leg, whispering, "I'm here, Dad." James kissed her forehead, feeling a warmth and strength he hadn't known in years. With his family by his side, he knew he could finally face the past, the truth, and the challenges ahead. "We need to talk," he said firmly. "No more hiding. From now on, we face everything together." Ly Tu Diep and Nee nodded, forming a circle of love and support. James realized that true strength came not from control or power, but from trust, love, and family. From that moment, he was no longer alone, ready to move forward and rewrite his story. After discovering shocking family secrets buried for over 20 years, James collapses under the weight of emotions and exhaustion. Confused and weakened, he struggles to cope with the overwhelming truth. By his side, Tu Diep offers gentle care and reassurance, helping him breathe and regain composure. Little Nee clings to her father, providing innocent comfort and emotional support, while Ly stands steadfast, offering strength and protection. Together, they create a circle of love and trust, reminding James that he is not alone. Gradually, with the support of his family, James regains his strength, faces the past, and finds the courage to move forward. This heartfelt story explores the power of family, resilience, and unconditional love in overcoming trauma and embracing a new beginning.